Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyil kareem. Your Excellency, you have all accepted to adopt these names because we believe you are the engineer and the architect of the modern Kano today. Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, Kadimul Islam, the man that will continue to queue behind from now to eternity, inshallah. Right Honorable Speakers, to acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Governor of the state, who of course is the incoming governor by Allah's grace, Dr. Nasiru Yusuf Gawuna. The leader of the party, who is of course the chairman of the state working committee of the party. And by biological antecedent, Right Honorable Ameachi, our chairman, is not only a politician, he is also an aristocrat because he can be the Emir of Kano tomorrow if God wishes. Prince Abdullahi Abbas, my other respected colleagues, indeed my employers, my bosses, Your Excellency, I have 20 out of 24 members of the Kano caucus of the House of Representatives here seated with us on the instructions of the governor of the state to come and receive you as our guest today and the guest of the people of Kano. There are 24 in number. We are loyal, we are committed to the cause of our people and to the cause of the leadership of our governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje. In our tradition, Right Honorable Chibuke Amechi, the Honorable Minister, you know, when we appear in public like this with the traditional regalia, the tradition does not allow us to speak for too long. So definitely I will be guided by that extant tradition of the traditional institution of the Northern Nigeria. I stand here not just as the leader of the House of Representatives. I stand here doubling as a Sardauna of Rano and a kingmaker, a council member of the ancient Rano kingdom. And I want to tell you, you have one good advantage with this traditional institution of the Rano kingdom, having been appointed as an Amanan Arewa, an Amanan Hausa. I'm sure some of the audience here may not know the history, but I will take a brief opportunity to explain that when anybody is appointed by the Emir of Daura, that man's appointment is not limited to Daura alone. He is extended to the whole Hausa kingdom because Hausa kingdom has Daura as its supreme headquarters. So for those who address him as Ang Amaran Daura, I would like to step it up that Right Chibuke Amechi is the Dangamanan Hausa because he is a district head and appointee of the Emir of Daura. If you are back to Daura Emirate, Amechi, I would like to maybe you inquire from the Emir of Daura, His Highness, the history between Daura and Rano, where I come from, where I belong, where I'm proud of. That the last born of Abu Yazid, popularly called the legendary Bayajida, the founder of Daura Kingdom, his own last born Bao was the one who traveled all the kilometers down to the southern part of Kano and founded Rano Emirate. This is not only history, this is history and it is science because it is a fact. So I think you are also at home by this brief history I've mentioned. I would like therefore to, on behalf, first of all, of my immediate constituency, members of the Kano caucus of the House of Representatives, join the chairman of the party to welcome you to Kano State. I want to repeat, we welcome you to Kano State. My distinguished respected delegates from all cadres of the party, I join you to welcome Right Honorable Chibuke Amechi one of the aspirants to the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Right Honorable Chibike Ameachi, I welcome you to the most populous state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which undoubtedly is Kano State. Right Chibike Ameachi, I also welcome you to the Kano campus of the Electoral College to the presidential primaries come on the 30th and the 1st of May and June 2023. This is the Kano campus of that Electoral College that will elect a presidential flag bearer. And I also want to intimate you that this Electoral College, this campus, the Kano campus of the Presidential Electoral College to elect a presidential candidate for a great party is embodied and has within its frame about 500 students. These students are what we otherwise call delegates. And we have a rector. The rector is the head of this campus. This rector is no other person than Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduji. All of them here in the Kano campus of this electoral college are very loyal to Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduji. And our loyalty is not without reasons. We have reasons that we have an indefatigable leader. We have a leader who's focused. We have a leader whose mission. We have the leader that has the feeling and the aspiration of his people to lead the people of Kano State. I therefore want to assure you that if you have the words of my governor, you have the words of my governor, you have his commitment, if you have his alliance with you, the whole of these students in the Kano campus of the Presidential Electoral College come 30th of May will definitely have no cause to doubt his commitment to you. I therefore want to wish you well, as traditional rulers will always say, that I wish you well, I wish the APC well, and by God's grace, President Muhammadu Buhari will be given the wisdom by Allah to ensure that he transits power to a newly elected president who will build and continue to consolidate on the gains we have made so far in the present government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The APC, by Allah's grace, shall continue to be the party to beat. And I assure you, those of us on this part of the country, those of us in Kano most especially, we will continue to put up the flag flying to make sure that APC succeeds at all cost. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in his mercy, takes you back home as you came into Kano safely. And I also identify myself with all those other speakers who have really brought about some of the meaningful achievements Kano has secured or achieved through your office as former Minister of Transport. We will continue to look at that as a yardstick for consideration, and I believe my people will do justice to that. I cannot conclude my statement without paying a tribute. I cannot conclude my statements without commending and thanking our son, our own person, in person of the former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai. It is for this gentleman's intervention, with a very close working relationship with the Governor of Kano State, and I believe with the right and appropriate directives from the presidency, that through the efforts of this gentleman, with due respect, if you can rise for Kano people to see you once again in Mufti. With the concerted efforts of His Excellency the Governor, with the concerted efforts of the people of Dogwa, Tudunwada Federal Constituency, whom out of your dexterity, out of your forthrightness, you located a training. I assure you our people will eternally be thankful to you. I thank you all, my people, the delegates that are seated up there. Your Excellency, don't forget, I am also one of those seated over there. And I want you to tell Senator Nuruddin that when he comes to deal with the list of delegates in Kano State, he will come across one name that will recur for 7 times. It will recur in the Third Republic House of Representatives in 1992. It will recur in the 4th Assembly House of Representatives. It will recur in the 5th Assembly House of Representatives. It will recur in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. I want to plead to him that when he has cause to engage with the delegates, let him not consolidate the 7 names in one. I will engage with him in seven perspectives. And that will be good for me and for the 4 wives I command in my house. Thank you, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Alassane Ado Garba Dogwa. That was a moving speech. A round of applause once again for this Sardauna. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as pointed out earlier on, it's a big history to me. It's a great day to me. This is the first time I'm holding a microphone to address a political gathering. And I'm happy that I'm doing it here in Kano City, the great city of great history. As we all know, Kode Mekazo and Fika. Kano also are my in-laws. I am happy that Right Honorable Chubike Ameachi identified me and invited me to join his campaign team. His campaign team to garner support for his presidential aspiration. We're here today with you, the candidates or the delegates from Kano State. We've been to Bayelsa State with me the first time. We've been to Taraba and of course Kaduna and Adamawa State. Yesterday we were in the FCT and Nasarawa State. So Alhamdulillah, today we are in Kano, the great people of Kano, highly industrious. And you have a highly determined and hardworking governor, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, OFR. He received us very well, and I'm happy that he assured us when His Excellency paid the courtesy call that he is going to swing the delegates in favor of our aspirant. He did not say, like the other person, that he was a good loser, but ours is a winner, inshallah. Well, you will wonder why I'm here in this train, or on this train. I'm here with the conviction that I have a person who is trustworthy, who is hardworking, who is determined, who is tireless. I worked with him in Rivers, as you've been told, as then brigade commander. 24 hours, we were always on the move. He was able to clear the militants. He was able to clear the kidnappers, the cultists, and a host of criminal acts, the oil thieves, and so on. It was the synergy we had when we were there together with the IGP, former IGP Suleiman Abba, and of course later with the CP Indabawa and my other colleagues from the other services that were able to synergize and achieve great security. And sure, you have seen us on his trail. Surely we will replicate and do more by the time you select him as your candidate and he finally wins. I was wondering, the whole proceedings here were conducted in English. I know the Hausa language is versatile. The people are proud of their language. We are proud of you, the Kanawas. Ina so na gaya muku cewa yau rana ne ta musamman.
Peace be upon you all. We thank you for coming to this very important occasion. Our August visitor, a presidential aspirant, a friend to Kano, the former governor of Rivers State, the former speaker of Rivers State, and the chairman of Speakers Forum of Nigeria, the 2 times Director General of Presidential Campaign of Muhammadu Buhari, the former Minister of Transportation, and members of your entourage, you are most welcome to the commercial nerve center of the northern part of this country, and the commercial nerve center of some West African countries, and the largest democracy in Nigeria, and the most revolutionary politics of this nation. Kano State is the most populous state in the country, and Kano, being a commercial nerve center, our government has taken Kano to the next level in terms of socio-economic development. We have reviewed the master plan of Kano, introduced so many interchanges, bridges, underpasses, and even tunnels. Our August visitor, this is what you did in Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State. So you can see our socio-economic and physical development aspirations are the same with what you exhibited when you are governor of Rivers State. In our attempt to ensure that Kano remains the commercial nerve center and remains the Dubai of Kano of Nigeria, we need the assistance of the federal government under the leadership of our President Muhammadu Buhari. I'm happy to inform you that Buhari responded to our desire, to our need in order to consolidate the position of Kano as the commercial nerve center of West Africa. There's no doubt the railway from Lagos to Ibadan to Kaduna to Kano, and then the railway from Kano to Katsina to Jibia to Maradi, and the railway from Kano to Duse was the biggest railway station in Nigeria, now under construction here in Kano. There's no doubt this has consolidated the position of Kano as the commercial nerve center of West Africa. And the question is, who is behind Buhari in this gigantic project? The answer is Ameachi, Ameachi, and Ameachi. So, Ameachi, you can see how we share some dreams. And you see how you contributed in making these dreams a reality. We thank you for this. Also, in our effort to make Kano the commercial nerve center of West Africa, this government, together with the private sector, we started what we call Dala Inland Dry Port, where investors, business people from all over the world, our own business people, importers and exporters, instead of going to Lagos to spend many days and months trying to get their goods, our Dala Inland Dry Port has solved that problem. You can send your goods from China addressed to Kano. You don't need to go to Lagos. Just fly back to Kano and collect your goods. The same thing with any part of Europe, America. And if you are exporting, you also don't need to go to Lagos. Through Dala Inland Dry Port, you export your goods. In fact, we had discussions with the President of Niger Republic, discussion with the President of Chad Republic, discussion with the President of Cameroon, and they are all ready to utilize our Dala Inland Dry Port. And who accorded the permission to do Dala Inland Dry Port in Kano? I can tell you, it's Ameachi. We had wanted, you plan to commission this inland dry port at the end of this month, but you had to resign and join the presidential aspiration. So a new date will be appointed for the commissioning of this Dala Inland Dry Port. So our friend, our brother, we have to thank you for this. We are gathered here with delegates and super delegates. Because the composition of our delegates is varied and is even complex. Some of our delegates were ministers before. Some were governors before. Some senators before. Some members House of Representatives. Some even principal officers, including a super delegate, the Sardauna Bolono, and the future Speaker of House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, our brother, the presidential aspirant, we are handing over to you the Sardauna Bolono, and you recount him as the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives. The reason why I'm telling you the qualification of our delegates is to show you that our delegates can understand issues. Our delegates can understand personalities. Our delegates can assess personalities. Our delegates know what is experience. Our delegates know what is knowledge. And our delegates know how you can compute knowledge, experience, determination in order to produce results. So, Your Excellency, the aspirant, we assure you, our delegates, they know what they are doing. They are looking for an achiever. And from the description of your curriculum vitae, you are an achiever. Kano, one of the most peaceful states in the Federation, I'm sure you can attest to that. And since we are here with the former General, the Lieutenant General Portai, I'm happy that the story was told when we came into office, especially with the conquest of Sambisa. I contacted Mr. President, I applied to Mr. President to allow us to utilize Falgore Forest to build a military training ground. He said, you should go straight to the Chief of Army Staff. From the villa, I went straight to his office. I said, this is my mission. This is the message for Mr. President. He said, you are welcome. What do you need? What do you like? I told him, we want to domesticate Falgore Forest so that it will not continue to have kidnappers and other criminals. He said, go and contact your brigade commander in Kano. I will direct him to provide you with all what you need in Kano. And I did. And we have constructed facilities, very important facilities for the training of military in Falgore Forest. I assure you, today, no bandit, no criminal, no cattle rustler, no armed robber takes a place in Falgore Forest. We thank you for that, your cooperation, and Kano is peaceful. Thank you all for coming. We assure you, our delegates are well informed of contemporary issues in Nigeria, and our delegates are ready to compute personalities with the demand of Nigerians. Thank you and God bless.
Kano people are different Nigerians. The ordinary Kano man you meet will fight for his right? You always fight for your right. You always know what you want, and you go to fight for it, right? So I'm leaving the big men behind and coming to talk to you directly. I'm coming to talk to your conscience, and let us see how your conscience will prick you on the day of voting, so that you look at your God, look at your ballot paper, and vote for your conscience. I was here in Kano when I got information that they were after my life. They refused to allow me fly out of Kano. I had to take my destiny in my hands after praying to God. And I drove from here to Abuja. I got to Abuja by 1 a.m. so that I could stay alive. It was from Kano. I became, in that trip, the reason why they wanted my life, they wanted me dead, was because I was supporting General Buhari for president. Just listen so that I can know how your conscience will prick you. I got home successfully. I was carrying 4 important Nigerians from northern Nigeria. Ask me, I will tell you their names. Senator Goje, Senator Lafiaji, Professor Gambari, and the former chairman of APC from Kwara, what's his name? Baraji. In my car, I had not even left Kano when they all slept off. So I was driving alone, no company, nobody to talk to me. By the time I got to Kaduna, I was sleeping. I bought 6 cans of Red Bull and drank all of them. I was still sleeping. And I drove to Abuja by the grace of God. When President Buhari, in his grace, and by the grace of God and by your grace, appointed me minister, the first rail project I thought was important was Lagos to Kano. Right? So I completed Kaduna to Abuja. Today, I'm working on Kano, Kaduna. I have visited Kano more than 3 times in inspecting that railway project. As I'm talking to you, we have done between 80 to 100 kilometers of rail line already. Even though we have not placed the track, but we have done the foundation. Your governor told you about the inland dry port. What I didn't know, I didn't hear him well, even though he said it at the course. The inland dry port has been in the ministry for 20 years. 20 years. So I could have said no. Your governor won't do me anything. I'm not his commissioner. I'm minister to Buhari. I'm not minister to the governor. But once he mentioned it to me, and I know that the economy of Kano people, is large, and I need to create employment for Kano people, I immediately approved it. And I tasked the man, I want to commission it. I could have commissioned it, but I want the president to come himself and commission it. Because the president appointed me, and the president made me make that decision too. We've come for final inspection, we are ready for commissioning. I have even told the president, he has agreed with me to write to the protocol to give me a date for commissioning. That's where we are. I will remind the permanent secretary to go ahead and write the letter so that the Minister of State can sign and get a date that the president will come here and commission it. I visited the inland dry port with the governor, and I saw some small children chasing us. I stopped. And I asked both the governor and the owner of the inland dry port, what are you putting to these children? They are of education age, and they are not in school. And I told the owner of the inland dry port, I will not give you a license if you don't build a school for these children. And I told him, don't only build a school, they must attend free of charge. Today, that school is completed. He will hand it over to the government. Government responsibility is to admit the children, and his responsibility is to provide teachers and make sure that the children or their parents don't pay. It means that I have the people of Kano in my heart. It means that I love you. It means that I'm tested and trusted. Compare me to others. Don't vote based on sentiment. Don't vote for me because I'm from the north. Don't vote for me because I'm from the south. Don't vote for me because I'm from the west. Don't vote for me because I'm from the east. Vote for me because I have the capacity. Check my record. Look at what all the offices I've occupied before. Ask the question, what has he achieved? What did he achieve in those offices? And just Google those achievements and see if I have not achieved enough to qualify for your vote. So when you march out that day, march out with your conscience in your hand. March out knowing that if you make a mistake, we will remain where we are if we will not go backwards. If you want us to move forward, if you want the economy of Kano to expand further, to create employment. I have created employment in Kano. By the mere fact that I approved the Line Large Report, I created employment. The Kano-Kaduna Railway, I've created, if nothing else, 20,000 employment opportunities. I have. So you owe me. Don't put me to shame because they will ask you, okay, see the decision you made, how do they pay you back? There is a saying in my village that the redneck lizard, I don't know what they call it in biology, redneck lizard fell from the Iroko tree. He looked left, nobody praised him. He looked right, nobody praised him. He shook his head, said, I've tried. That's the way I'm saying to Kano people, I have tried to achieve things in Kano. You need to encourage me by voting for me. You have about 460 something votes. Give me that vote. Don't waste it. Don't do what? Don't waste it. It will be a total waste to take you somewhere else. Because the day you vote for me and I win, I will come here to start the campaign.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.